So hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Esther Sari. Consider subscribing by clicking on the notification bell. So anytime there's a new video, you'll be notified first. Today I have with me
Kwadwo, Agyei, Yeboah.
He is a researcher and an activist. I would say he's a pro-religion. So I want us to get. I first met him when I was about traveling to Germany. That was 5 years ago. And today we are here. We are both in Ghana. So greetings from Ghana.
that sounds good. I think, like you said, we met 5 years ago,
yes.
And that time we were all preparing to go to Germany for studies.
Yes.
And it sounds very good that we are meeting here today once again to talk about something very important, which has something to do with our life, and it also has something to do with our society. So it's very important. Let me put it right. I am rather anti-religious. So let me correct that one. Religion is not something that I go by, but that notwithstanding, I was born into Christian home. I practice the Christian faith. I believe in the Christian religion or Christian faith. Run around with time, I came to realize that no, it's in the way that I have to go by. So I understand religion. But I don't go with religion. And I think if I have to recommend to people, I say no, African, your way is not religion. Maybe spirituality, fine. So we can talk about many things.
Okay, so let's kick start. We are shooting this video from University of Ghana, right behind, there's this garden here. Yeah, and that's the business school. So Ronnie, can you tell us this name?
Officially, I have changed my name. You have no problem, but the reality is that my name was Ronnie, and I changed it or I picked my indigenous name, which is Kwadwo Agyei Yeboah. So that is my official name. That is fine.
So Kwadwo, can you tell us more about yourself? Who is Kwadwo?
Kwadwo, my name is Kwadwo Agyei Yeboah. I am an African. I am a Pan-Africanist, and I am an Afrocentric. Currently I am working as a research analyst and also community development assistant. And apart from that, I also engage in a lot of education in terms of training people to understand the African way. So I do most of my thing teaching people about what is it that one is it to be called an African. So I do most of my things teaching people as African. I have a lot of followers on Facebook personally,
yes,
and
we'll get to that.
And I also have my Facebook page. So
I want to know more about your educational background. When I know you schooled at the University of Ghana, that's why we are here today.
Yeah.
So where did it all start from?
Okay, I think I went to primary school in the eastern region of Ghana, in a place called Agyei. That's where actually I'm from. And I also went to high school, secondary school in Agyei at Agyei SDA secondary school. And from there I came to University of Ghana to study political science and information studies. When I finished, I got the opportunity to serve as a research assistant to some professors here, Professor Smart Johnson. And when I finished as a research assistant, I was fortunate to give an extension of contract to at the Faculty of Social Science. So I was working here as a research assistant when I was teaching SPSS, Statistical Package for Social Science, which gave me opportunity to learn more about research action and practical research. So I had a lot of experience in research. From there, I moved on to apply to study abroad. I went to Germany to study at the University of Freiburg. I studied environmental governance at the Faculty of Environment and Natural Resources. And I finished, I came back, I'm here back in Ghana. And I'm working on my own as a consultant and also investing most of my time in Pan-Africanism and also in an African politics. So
I know you have an NGO.
Yeah.
It's SEPA.
I have an NGO. It's called the Center for Environmental Research and Policy Analysis. It's called SEPA for short. we do most of our things in supporting communities which are dependent on natural resources to be able to sustain those natural resources, in the sense that it will not have so much negative effect on the environment. So we have different projects. We plant trees, we also engage in education, and we also support youth in mining. We have in Ghana, we have what we call galamsey. So we try to help these people by acquiring technical skills, sometimes getting to know how to rely on mushroom production, and we produce a lot of mushroom too.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get back to your Facebook page.
Yeah.
I know you have over 7,000.
75,000.
75,000 followers on Facebook. So please go follow him. The name again,
Kwadwo,
Agyei.
Agyei, Yeboah.
Yes, on Facebook. So you always talk about religion, and you bring statues of people bowing to a god, the supposed god, and that's one thing I realized going back to Germany. Anytime I go to church, I realize that the way we worship back in Germany is completely different from what we do here. Here we are shouting. Since I came back, I'm trying to tolerate the noise, because the noise is all over from morning to evening. I went to the mall the previous days and there's noise everywhere. I don't know how we do it here. What makes our religion so different from what is being practiced or what was brought to us as Africans?
Okay, I think the reason is simple. We are different people. We are different people, and immediately you try to force yourself into what you are not, you cannot become what you are not. So the reality is that I don't know, the religion isn't our thing. Religion actually is not the African thing, and the black people, religion isn't our thing. So we are only forcing ourselves to be what we are not. So I think it will never happen that the way we practice religion here in Africa will become the same as we practice religion in elsewhere. So to me, I think the differences will be there. So maybe we can look at the specific differences. That would be interesting to look.
In Germany, you can go to church, for instance, and you decide to pay offering or not. But here it's compulsory. You give first offering, second offering, third offering, and there's consultation fee. But in Germany, I realized that even after church, there's some snacks, some cake, some tea, some coffee. Bring and share, and then we all share and eat. Most of my colleagues who are working, they got it through a church member, and they are doing well. So somehow the church is more of a social system that supports the individuals in the church. When you come back here, it's like the supposed pastors or spiritual leaders are extorting from their followers.
Okay. That is exactly so, and that's how it's supposed to be. This is simple. It is. You can look at the statistics, or you can look at the analogy, and you understand. Let's look at when the religion was brought to us. The idea is to let us have something like a faith that, okay, there is nothing here on earth which is so important. So they needed everything that we have here, but before they can take something from you, they need to give you something. So they gave you a God who is above and everything. So you have that God, and then everything can be taken away from you, and you will have the luxury of saying, that is fine because I have that God. So the reality is that the religion which was introduced to us is a religion of exploitation, a religion of extortion. So a religion, it is like a continuation of what was given to us, which our own people, now the white man or the colonizer is no longer here. So our people who took away, they are continuing exactly what the colonizers were doing. I think that is really the case. So the reality is, we have to understand that our people are not doing anything different from the religion we have. Maybe the truth is that when they take the things from us, where do they take? They take it away to support their system. So the reality is, over there, religion is supposed to support social systems. But here, religion is supposed to take from us. and then the religion.
Wait, this bed, oh my God.
It's a nice sound, maybe.
A nice sound from the bed.
Yeah.
Greetings from Ghana.
So I think the truth is that it is up to us to come to understand that churches or the pastors, they are working for God. They are not working for us. So it is God's work they are doing. If God cannot pay them, then they should leave that and go and look for another job. It's very simple. If I'm working for you and you cannot pay me, you don't work for someone and come and take your pay from me. Don't go to church and go and pay money to pastor. It is neither here nor there. It is not something that you have to do it.
So how come somehow, let's say religion, I don't want to generalize as Christianity or Islamic, or I think religion in general has made some people just lazy, and some people tend to even wish or say that their in-laws, mother-in-law or father-in-law is a witch or a wizard. So I don't know what our religion, the concept is. I work with a microcredit, and most of the women, they come for money today. They'll follow you, they'll be calling you, harassing you, they'll take the money. The next minute you call them, I'm at a prayer camp. So they are not using the money for the intended purpose. And at the end of the day, they default and the loan goes bad.
This is I don't know, but it's a mental problem. That is what I can call it. It's a mental problem because all the people in religion have been told that there is a man in the sky who is a god. He is so powerful, and to them he is capable of doing everything at any time. Like he can just give them money just the way they want. But in reality, however, that imaginary God that people have in their head cannot do anything. Even hello, that person cannot say. God cannot say hello. He cannot do anything. Everything needs to be done by us, and he takes credit for everything that we do. That is the reality. And normally they say that God never fails. Yes, and I say God cannot fail because there is always a devil who is there to take the failure. When there is a failure, he takes the blame. So the reality is that we have been mentally conditioned to think that God will do everything for us. And when we leave everything onto God, God will do them for us. But the truth is, everything needs to be done by us, and we have to do everything. If we want to see a change in our society, it's our responsibility to work and bring that change. So that is one aspect. Religion at the same time has been conditioned us into thinking that the African spirituality or the African way of life is evil. So if you have the ability, because nature is full of power, everything is nature is power. We can speak to these trees, we can do everything. So if you have that exceptional power which is supposed to be used for good, we are told that these are African magic. They call it black magic, whatever. So it has been negatively connoted or tagged. And people who have that power, which we supposed to tap into their knowledge, tap into their special gifts, let me call it like that, we tend to lynch those people. We tend to be against them. So what I'm saying is that the religion has made us to think that everything which is the African is bad. So if anyone is in our family who has special power, who is able to connect with nature, who is able to do things that we cannot do, we say that person is a witch, that person is a wizard. So we tend to be against that person. But the reality is that every power kills.
And this has brought also a lot of conflict within the family.
Yes.
And sometimes it's kind of really unimaginable.
The basis, the foundation of the African society is the family. So immediately there is a conflict or there is a breakdown within the family, the entire African community is broken down. We have to accept this, that our foundation is the family. Now the religion is causing a lot of conflict, a lot of disagreement within the family, because we think that someone or anyone who has a power, who is able to connect with nature, is a witch. So this is a problem that maybe we have to deal with, and we have to deal with it. But how to deal with it is the problem, because politics, religion, are going in the same direction. For us, we are in a society where laws are made not by the family, not by the community, but by politics. And now the politics need people, because politics don't need thinkers to be able to function well. Politics need people who think less so that they can exploit them. And therefore, they need the religion as a tool to be able to let people think less, and then they will have hope for tomorrow. If there are corrupt people who are siphoning the resources of the state, because the Bible or the Quran said there will be a heaven for us tomorrow, let the people take it away. So the problem is broader than we can look at it. You look at everywhere, but I think that as a society, the new generation, the people, you and I, need to come in and say that let's educate one another. Let one another become to understand that everything that we have to do, it is our responsibility to bring that change. When you help to change one person, that person will help to change two, and before you realize, there will be a significant amount of people who are conscious of the situation, and such people cannot be abused, and I think we will be able to sustain the system which will work for our society.
Okay. Do you believe in African traditional religion? I asked this question because before there are people, did I talk about the fraud thing? Did I?
No, you have not.
Okay, so before we had people, a lot of young people going into fraud with the aim that we are taking back what our colonial masters took from us. And now it has graduated from just defrauding a white man or the colonizer to money rituals. Sacrificing family members, sacrificing part of yourself, sacrificing part of your sleep, your children. So what is your take on African, I wouldn't say, what's the difference between the African traditional religion and this sacrifices people are making? I think African religion is a good thing when it doesn't conflict or undermine the right of other human beings. When you don't sacrifice your sister or your brother or your cousin or something. So what is your take on that?
Let me first put this one in perspective. Many often people say African traditional religion, and I ask myself, why is it that African tradition alone is being called religion? Because there is a fundamental difference between religion and tradition. The Chinese have their tradition, it is not religion. The Europeans have their tradition, it is not religion. The African have our tradition, and we are being called religion. The truth is that one cannot belong to two religions. If you are a Muslim, you cannot at the same time become a Christian. So when you call your tradition religion, what it means is that your tradition has become a religious practice for you. So if you belong to Christianity, if you take up Christianity, for instance, you need to do away with all your tradition. This is the reason why most Africans today, they no longer practice. If they want to marry, they have to marry in the Christian way and live their traditional way of marriage, because they think that our traditions are religion. So when you take your religion, you have to leave the Christianity or the colonizers' religion. And if you take colonizers' religion, you have to take your religion. But the reality is that Africa, we have what you call traditions. That is one. We have spirituality. That is two. African spirituality is also not religion. It is matter of science. We are able to connect with nature. You are able to do everything. My dad was a herbalist, and my dad knows how to speak with trees. My dad knows how to, by nature, he connects with nature. He knows things far better than many of people, average person knows. But this has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to think about an invisible man in the sky. It has nothing. If my father was into religion, he would try to convert people to tell them that you need to come to my religion before you can be saved by a man in the sky. He will start sending people going out. But none of this. He didn't promise people heaven and hell. So these are attributes of religion. But African spirituality helps us to connect with nature. And I think that is perfectly fine. But the reality is that, let me point this out, everything which is power kills. Electricity is power and it kills. Tender is power, it kills. So everything which has power it kills. So the African spirituality has power, and if you misuse that power, it can kill you, and you can use it to do good or bad.
Okay.
That is foundation. It's a religion has no power in it. So religion only plays on your mind and tells you that you can get your reward when you are dead. How do you expect someone who is dead to go back and come back to say, I didn't get my reward?
Yeah.
So many people know that the African tradition or African spirituality has power in them, and it can kill them. Therefore, they will do away with this African spirituality, and then what they will do is to say that let's go for what does not kill. Now, let me come to people who are negatively using the African spirituality to do bad things. I think that there has been people who have used colonization, religion, and whatever to dupe Africa, and they did wrong. I think I perfectly agree with them. What they did is wrong, and it is the inheritance of those things which has created this deep inequalities between our society. So I, for once, have always said that there is no expiring date for crime, and those who created crime in our society need to be punished, or they need to pay compensation for them. This is a societal affair. We need to as a community, we need to come together and find a way to get people punished for the wrong things that they have done, or we need to take back what has been taken from us.
Okay.
But
how can we do that?
Yes, how can we do that? I think what is most important is that these people still depends on us. They have created a system which depends on us. It takes everything away up to today. Everything that we have here, being it raw materials, being it resources, being it human capital, the best of everything that belongs to us is still being taken away from us. So the first thing we have to do is to cut that. We have to put a system in place to cut down. Let me tell you one thing. Many people think that resources or raw materials are not important until there is a value added. But the reality is that raw materials are more important than even the finished product. Why am I saying that? Because it is the raw materials which is the primary source for you to produce. If someone takes away your raw material, that person takes away your production capacity. That person takes away employment. That person takes away, again, the skill that you can learn, because when you practice these raw materials with time, you gain skill to advance. So when they take this raw material away, they are not just taking raw material, they are taking away employment, they are taking away capital, they are taking away skills. And I think that we need, as a society, need to stop this thing from happening, and let us know that yes, we need to develop according to our own skills, according to our own ingenuities, and at our own space, our own pace. What I always say is that development is not a commodity that we can go to China and buy development. Development is what we use our knowledge and our resources to create. So in reality, I think that the young boys who think that by fraud they can take away, they are not doing anything. They are only taking dollar. And money is paper. It's valueless. They only print it, and you take the money. Automatically, it is not even CD, which can circulate within our system. It comes and it goes. And
they use most of it to buy big cars, big phones, iPhones, and what have you. And the money is going back to the colonizers. So at the end of the day, what is the gain?
We are not gaining anything. So I think if there is a way, we need to think as a people and have a comprehensive approach that will be able to solve the problem. No matter how complex it is, it needs to be solved. That is what I think. We can solve it, and we need to come together to solve it. But by doing fraud, I don't think that is a solution. That is not at all. It is not.
So do you think we should establish some political or social system or policies that can help us to some extent get back what the colonizers took away from us? Is that what you are trying to say?
Exactly. What I'm saying is that people think that it is past and gone, but the reality is that I don't want to talk about the fact that colonization has not even ended. That is a different thing. And if it is there, or whether we need to have a system in place that ensure that let the African begin to design our own development process and walk through our own path. We cannot say that China is doing this, so let's do because we want to have what Chinese. We need to start our own process, and we need to know that yes, these colonizers took so much from us. They have used us, and they need to pay back. They need to pay back what they have taken from us. If they are not ready to pay, let us cut the opportunity which allow them to take everything from us, because every advancement they are gaining, they take it from here and they build upon that. When we cut it, we will be able to advance ourselves, and we will be in a position to demand for what belongs to us, which has been taken away from us. I have always said, if there has been a crime, there is no expiring date for crime. People need to pay for the crime they have committed.
Going forward, what was the aim, or what prompted you to start your Facebook page? Anti-religious group or page, or something like anti-religious group or page, I should call it.
Yeah, I think somewhere, I think 2 years ago, I wrote 4 short pieces of articles. The first one, I think, the title is the global economic system is designed to keep Africa in an unending poverty. It talks about how the system is designed for Africa to produce raw materials, and those raw materials are not even sold in our own currencies. Instead, it is being sold in the currency of the colonizers, and how the money we don't produce is like they print raw paper and come and take our. So like all these 4 articles, they were hits instantly, and I realized that a lot of people were following me, sometimes 10,000 a day. Like I was getting 10,000 people a day, and I got huge followers on my personal Facebook account. So I realized that, okay, now let me create a page, and I created a page, and I got a lot of people following the page, and I was sharing most of the things that I was doing about politics, about economies, and about environment here about. And one time I posted something about religion. Even it was posted by one reverend or something, and it is about how the economy, how God created a child who is not perfect, and then if this is the case, then God is not perfect then. And what happened is that immediately I posted that, and about 3,000 people left my page instantly.
Wow.
And I realized that no,
Wow.
Then economy is not a problem. Politics is not a problem, because the problem is what is driving the people away. Then I began to research more on religion and write more on religion. More people left, but I think I have been able to change and let many people think, and it has been very helpful.
Yeah, for you to have 7,500 followers.
75,000
followers on Facebook. So go follow him on Facebook. Yeah, so I also follow him on Facebook. I was interested in what is Ronnie doing.
That's fine.
What is Kwadwo doing? What is Kwadwo doing? Why is he talking about religion? Is he against Christianity? Is he against people bowing to a statue, for instance, or a cross, or people carrying? I've seen pictures that he posted where, for instance, there was this recent case where a pastor killed a wife because of so many things. So sometimes some of these things, you wonder what is really happening. What are your final words, and what do you think is the solution to?
I think that there is no solution outside by ourselves. If there is a solution, we have to bring that solution. And as a people, we need to begin not to just accept whatever we have been introduced to. We need to welcome different ideas. That is one thing that we learn. If there are multiples of ideas, what we have to do is that we need to welcome and evaluate them. Many people, especially when it comes to religion, because it boils down with faith, and they don't want to miss heaven. So they are ready to sacrifice everything on earth. That is exactly what is really keeping many of us back. In my family, I'm the only one who has been able to take down religion from my life. And I think that I did so because I was able to welcome different ideas, and I evaluated them. One day maybe we will have to exclusively about religion, and we put that religion in perspective. Then you can understand really what is happening. Yeah. So that is it.
Okay, thank you, Ronnie, for coming on the show. Don't forget to subscribe, follow him on Facebook, Kwadwo.
Agyei, Yeboah.
Yes, and follow me on all the social media platform Estasari 2020.
Yeah. So if you are from my page and you are watching, you subscribe to her her Facebook channel, and I think that YouTube channel, more of good stuffs are always coming every week. New video every week, new video. So see you guys.
Thank you, Ronnie.